Hello YouTube, this is Dacker13, and in this tutorial I will be showing you on how to enable multitasking gestures on your iPhone or iPod Touch on firmware 4.3 or 4.3.1. Now, this folder right here called multitasking gestures you will need to download in order to do this, and I will have a link in the description down below, so make sure to download this file. And I do not take credit for compiling this file, so putting it together, I don't take credit for it. One of my friends from YouTube, he's not my friend in real life, but he's just kind of a YouTube friend. His name is iCrack Your iDevice, known as ICU. A lot of you guys probably know him already. He gave me permission to use this in this video, so really cool of him. Make sure to check out his channel and subscribe there because he's got a lot of great videos. So anyways, I do not take credit for making this folder. He actually made it himself and then uploaded it himself. So make sure to download it in the description down below. But anyways, he tried it on his iPhone 4 and he said that it worked. And I tried it on my iPod Touch 4th generation and it also worked. So I'm guessing that it will work on the iPhone 3GS and the iPod Touch 3rd generation, but currently I am not sure. So if you have an iPhone 3GS or an iPod Touch 3rd generation and you try this out, please make sure to leave a comment down below letting us know whether it worked or not, so letting me know, so then if it does work I can update my description telling you guys that it works, and if it doesn't work I can update my description saying that it doesn't work. So let's get right on into this tutorial. Obviously the first thing you want to do is download this file. Once you have it downloaded, you can move on to the next step. So step number 2 of this tutorial is to SSH into your iDevice. So if you're a Windows user, most likely when you have SSH'd in the past, you have used a program called WinSCP, and if you are a Mac user, you have most likely used CyberDuck to SSH into your device. And you can use, if you've SSH'd before and you feel completely fine to use either of those programs, depending on which operating system you are on, then just do that. So SSH into your device if you already know how. If you currently do not know how, then just search up how to SSH on YouTube and then your operating system, and there's tons of tutorials out there, and you guys should easily be able to figure out on how to SSH into your device. Now personally, I use a program called Phone Browser. Well, no, actually it's called iPhone Explorer. It's available for Windows and Mac, and if you'd like to download it, I will have a link in the description down below. But basically, it allows you to do the exact same thing as SSHing, but over a USB cable. So it's a lot faster, a lot easier. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So basically now, SSH into your device. So now I'm just going to plug in my iPod Touch 4th generation. Okay guys, so now we are going to be making a backup of the default files on our device that we will be replacing with this multitasking gestures tutorial. So it's pretty simple. You want to open up the multitasking gestures folder, and each folder name is where you're supposed to go. So for the backup, this is right now we're just making backup. So as you can see, this one says go to applications and then preferences.app. So you just want to go to root, applications, and then preferences.app. And so when you open the applications.preferences preferences.app folder, there are two files that we will be replacing on our device. So there's the general.plist and the settings.plist. So basically the reason for making a backup is because we want to save the default general.plist and settings.plist files on our device, because if anything goes wrong with these custom ones, these two files I'm highlighting right now, on our device, then we can always SSH back in and we can put the original default files back on, and everything should return back to normal. So just look for the general.plist, drag it into your backup folder, and then look for the settings.plist, and then drag it into your backup folder. And then just click back, and now we are going to be doing the second one. So the second one wants us to go to System, Library, Core Services, and then Springboard.app. So we're just going to exit out of this Preferences, applications. So now in root we want to go to System, Library, Core Services, and then springboard.app. And there are a ton of files in the springboard.app, so it may lag a little bit depending on what program you're using to SSH, but it shouldn't crash. So just scroll down to the end section. Now depending on what device you have, this folder will be different. So as you can see, the one that you will download the file is called n90ap.plist. Well, on each device it's different. That is for the iPhone 4 only. So just look for the closest one. So for the iPod Touch 4th generation, it's N81AP, where on the iPhone 4 it's N90AP. But just drag whichever file is the closest to it. So obviously this one is. So it may be different for whichever device you have. So just drag that into your backup folder. And now we want to go to our last one, and it wants us to go to var, mobile, library, and then preferences. So that is what I will do. So back in root, I will go to var, and then mobile, and then library, and then preferences. And so the file in there that it wants me to replace is the com.apple.springboard.plist. So you just want to look for that. And as you can see, it's at the very bottom. It may be different for you, but just make sure to drag it into the backup folder, just like that. And once you have your backup folder finished and ready to go, you can move on to the next step. Okay, so step number 4 is the last and final step. So now you want to open the multitasking gestures folder again. And now what you want to do is you want to browse to those same places you did before when creating the backup. So just in your SSH program, just go to the same folders. So the first one is root, applications, and then preferences.app. And now what you're going to be doing is opening that file, and you're going to be replacing it. So let's drag this right over here. So I'm just going to drag the general.plist into preferences.app, and it's going to ask you if you want to do so, and I will click OK. And so now it should have replaced it. It should have replaced your old general.plist file, and as you guys can see right here, so now you want to drag the settings.plist file in here, and it's going to ask you if you want to, and then just click OK. It may not ask you if you want to. It might ask you if you want to override it or something. It's different with each program, but just click OK. So now I'm going to go into the next folder. So the next one is the System, Library, Core Services, Springboard.app. So let's just go there. System, Library, Core Services, Springboard.app. Okay, so now here is the tricky part. So each device has this different file. So as you can see in the file that I'm going to be telling you to download, this folder, the N90AP is for the iPhone 4, and the iPod Touch 4G, at least mine, is N81AP. So you're going to have to change the title of this file to put it onto your device, because you don't want to put something that's completely different, because that could screw up your device. But you made the backup, so if your device does become screwed up, you can always replace it and put in the default files back again. So now you just want to rename this file to what your device is. If you're using an iPhone 4, then you shouldn't need to rename it. So as you can see, I'm just renaming it to that. I'm going to drag it in here, and then I'm going to click OK. And then it is finished. So now we are going to go to the last folder inside of the multitasking gestures folder. So let's just do that. So as you can see, last one is var, mobile, library, and preferences. So var, mobile, library, preferences, and now you want to copy this into here, and then click OK. And so if it copied it correctly, now you can exit out. Okay guys, so once you have added the multitasking gestures files to your device, then you want to reboot it, as you can see I am doing now. And let's just wait for it to reboot. And while it's rebooting, I would just like to say, please don't forget to leave a comment down below, and also please subscribe. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my second YouTube channel and follow me on Twitter. I will have, obviously, 2 links in the description down below. So then we can slide to unlock and go to settings. And as you can see, multitasking gestures are currently on. But there are a lot of bugs with this. As you can see, my device does say no service for some reason. So like I think my device thinks it's an iPhone, but I'm not sure. So, you know, if you want them, it doesn't really mean that much at all, as you guys can see here. So it's not that big of a deal. All you got is the searching. So someone, and then it says no service. Personally, I think that actually looks kind of cool. But you know, it doesn't matter. So then on your multitasking gestures, you got it there. And let's just try it out. So I'm not really sure about multitasking gestures. Pretty sure if you do the 5-pinch zoom, and as you can see there, that actually looks pretty sweet. I had an application open, and you got the 5 fingers pinch to close an app. See if I can get this to work again. And there it worked again. So that's about it for this video, guys. Like I said before, please don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and that's about it for this tutorial. I hope you all enjoyed it, and see you all in my next one.